Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I'm going to review Red, White, and Royal Blue, the LGBT rom-com produced by Amazon Studio, based off of the bestseller Red, White, and Royal Blue of the same name, written by Casey McQuinnan, starring Nicholas Gazine and Taylor Zahar Perez of of what was that other thing called, the Kissing Booth and Purple Hearts, for both of them. Netflix, two of Netflix's largest movies. Now they're starring in this LGBT rom com um between Alex Claremont Diaz, the United States son of President Ellen Claremont, the first female president of the United States, and Prince um Prince Henry what Manchester Winston Fox, the what I think he's the third person in line for the royal throne, or fourth person in line of the royal throne. So yeah, that movie. I haven't read the book, so I don't know anything more about the book. As you guys know, I talked about this movie probably like twice before. And again, it all started with the cake, and how I just saw those two actors, because I was familiar with them from those two movies, and I saw them bantering, and I just thought it was funny. And me watching that clip, which I had no idea this movie was being filmed. I'd never even heard of this story or any of this stuff. And when I saw you know, the cake scene, I thought it was pretty hilarious. And that's what led me to be interested in watching this movie, because I saw something that was genuinely funny, and I was just like, I have to see how this turns out. So, again, like I said, um, it's a LGBT rom com story where the first son of the United States and the Prince of England falls in head over heels. They do the whole enemies to friends to lover trope, which I like a good enemies to lover kind of trope or whatever. But part of me actually kind of wished it was just like enemies to friends, and that was it, honestly. Not because I have no problem with the LGBT. In fact, I have no problem with anybody being coupling or whatever. I'm not really a rom com kind of person, but this movie looked at hilarious, looked at charming. Um, like I said it previously before in the Bros one, is that if you want people to watch a movie that's outside the LGBT community, then you need to make it where it's charming. You need to have familiar faces. You need to not insult the audience. And that's what they did. They put two charming actors together, and they created this movie that right now I believe it's number two in the world right now for streaming for Amazon. I saw it last night, and here's my thoughts and review on it. Um, with mild spoilers, I'm going to try not to spoil the movie. Because I mean, if you guys seen the trailer, you know that they do eventually kiss. It's just how they gonna get there. I will say this though. I will say that I enjoyed the movie. I had no problem. This is like the second time a movie this year has like kind of, I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't bad. Like the first one was Barbie, of course, and this one right here is the second one where I went in there not really knowing much, thinking that it's gonna insult me, or thinking I was like, whatever, or they were gonna preach to me. Thank God they didn't preach at us. Thank goodness. Matthew Lopez, the director, and I think the writer of this, made sure not to preach at us. Thank goodness, because I'm tired. I am definitely tired of a Hollywood movie preaching at me, talking about how wrong I am, or how wrong I am for being straight or something like that. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Um, but the cake scene, that's where we're going to start, because that's how the movie opens up. It's opening up with Alex and Nora going to the wedding of Prince Henry's oldest brother, Philip, who's next in line for the throne. And, you know, Alex kind of gets a little tipsy, and, you know, shenanigans happen. They're trying to, they're, they kind of have a little banter back and forth with each other because they really don't like each other since their first meeting with each other in some, I think it was an Australia climate conference or whatever and stuff like that. And they just, every time they see each other, they just can't stand one another. And it just kind of accelerated from here, which caused them to bump into the royal cake. And that cake fell all on them. And it was captured on video and everything. And, British and the United States thinking that they have issues with each other, which causes more confusion. And now it's up to Alex to fix his relationship with Henry so everybody can, be like, hey, look, British and the United Kingdom and the United States are allies and they would never do anything to try to harm each other or whatever. So it's basically kind of like that. But I will say another thing I noticed too in this movie is that the movie could have been longer. To me, I feel like the movie was cut down a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of scenes that they did film that they couldn't put in the movie, but there were also scenes in the trailer that was shown that was not in the movie. So that's kind of weird that you put, you know what I'm saying? That you put those scenes in the trailers and then they don't show up in the movie. You know what I mean? The movie could have just been 3 hours at this point. That's how I feel. I think, you could have easily, put that movie for 3 hours and call it a day. It kind of sucks that the actors and them weren't allowed to walk the red carpet and talk about the movie or promote the movie because of the whole SAG thing. But I will say the movie depends on the two leads. Taylor Zarakis Perez and Nicholas Gazine, brilliant performers. You really believed them. Hell, I was like, God damn it, they making me believe this shit. And I know it's a movie, but I truly believe that they were in love with each other. But I will tell you one thing too. Taylor, who plays Alex, seems such a hoot. He seems like a very fun person, a very light person. And Henry seems very guarded, of course, which Nicholas plays, which I think that's probably their personalities in real life too, is that they play characters that have their personalities in real life. Like you can tell when you see Taylor, he has such a light about him, while Nicholas feels more guarded, and I think that's perfect for both of the actors, that they both can portray the characters like that and kind of comes off in their real personalities like that. Don't get me wrong, they're both fun or whatever, but you can really feel the connection and the emotions, especially because I heard that they had 2 weeks of rehearsal for each other, and the chemistry read and stuff like that. So before anybody else, it was just those two getting to really know each other and trusting each other. So that's another cool process to kind of see on the screen. And can we talk about Uma Thurman as Ellen, Madam President? I love her accent. Her accent is everything in this movie. I just love a good old Southern Belle accent. So, even though I'm from the South, you guys know I don't have no Southern accent because, I am not deep South. I am not rooted that kind of South. I am city boy, suburban South. So I didn't get that country that country twang from the South. But I just love her voice. I just love her accent throughout the movie. And it's a hard, oh God, bless her heart, bless the actress who plays her, who also, if you guys watch Black Adam, you will realize that she played Adrian Tomaz as well. Bless her heart, because in that movie she does not get paid enough to deal with the BS that she has to deal with when she's dealing with Alex. It is a hoot to just see her like about to like kill Alex, because he keeps putting her in these situations where she's got to like figure things out and clean up the situation. It is hilarious to see in the movie. And then it was a fun. This is another little quick spoiler, is that when they were at the hospital, because Alex had to go back over to the UK and get to know Henry and see what he does during his day or whatever. And they went to the children's hospital, and there was shots fired. It really wasn't shots; it was like fireworks. And then the secret detail in them tossed Alex and Henry into like this small broom closet where, like, Lord have mercy, damn well these boys cannot fit in there. They are like 6'2", 6'3", or whatever and stuff like that, and you're trying to get them to shove in that small that small box closet. Was hilarious. And they got to hash their moment out where Alex tells him the reason why he held this grudge all this time, because he said that he feels he's smug and entitled, and when he tried to talk to him, because it was his first time doing things like this and they were the same age, so he thought that maybe Prince Henry could help him navigate the world of being a diplomatic public figure now that his mom was in politics and having her face everywhere or whatever. And because Prince Henry was going through mourning of his father, he snubbed Alex, but Alex didn't know that at the time. He just thought that Prince Henry just thought that he was better than him because he was the prince. And that's what been their whole kind of grudge or whatever and stuff like that, where you know Prince Henry thinks that Alex is just too much, and Alex thinks that Prince Henry is a stuck up snob because of the way he treated him when they first met. And that's been a thing on to that he's been holding on this whole time. Oh, I will mention another kind of spoiler thing is the text messaging thing. Um I like the way they did the text messages in the movie, which I want to see that done a little bit more. So what they did is at first they start texting, right? And then it goes to this whole thing where like the actors are saying the text message lines, but it's texting. And what will happen is visual like versions of them would come to the other side. So like Alex was running in the park and it had Prince Henry kind of sitting, you know what I'm saying? Kind of him having to him sitting down while Alex is running, and they're talking or something like that or whatever. And then like it's the same thing. Like there, Prince Henry's doing something, and then Alex is popping up in his visual mind, and then they're like speaking towards each other. So it's really kind of cool to kind of have this thing where they're together but not together, but because they're texting. And I would love to see more of that than just hear them texting and we have to read along. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind because I'm a texter anyway, and I can read, but I'm just saying for future reference, I like the way they did that, and I think they should do more like that because it's kind of unique. It's a unique way of like communicating to the audience their conversation without the audience having to read it. They can hear the actors act out the text messaging. So I thought that was a really unique, pretty kind of thing. And like I said, of course, we know that eventually this leads to them and the iconic kissing at New Year's Eve and stuff like that. So that happened, but I will say another thing too that I noticed is every time I was watching the movie and every time they kiss, I don't know. I don't know if Taylor's hair is like silky, soft, smooth, or whatever, but Nicholas was getting into that hair. Whatever his shampoo conditioner routine is, he was getting into it, which is kind of charming and interesting to see because like um you know when you see a kiss, they do play around in their hair, but not that long. But Nicholas was up in that boy hell when they were like making out or whatever and stuff like that. I don't know if that was like improv. I don't know if that was something he thought that would work. I mean, it did work for the scenes, but it's just like, boy, you sure do love grabbing this boy hell like that. I've never seen somebody get so like tender to smooth with somebody's hair, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Um, I haven't seen it really like that much going on, but hey, if you like hair, you like hair, right? Each to their own. Another thing that is pretty funny is when they were like having their love scenes or whatever. Um, it felt like I was invading their privacy, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, I've seen I've seen so many characters, have sex scenes in movies and shows or whatever. But sometimes there are certain sex scenes, no matter if it's straight, gay, lesbian, or whatever, that you just be like, oh my god. Not because it's not because it was gratuitous or whatever. It was more like, oh my god, this feels like such an intimate moment with these two, and I feel like I am like a fly on the wall into your your intimate moment that should be intimate between you two. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know that sounds kind of crazy, kind of cheesy or whatever, but it is what it is. um and another thing I will say too is, this is another kind of like spoiler thing, is the one of the climaxes, when Alex you know confronts Henry or whatever. I don't know about y'all, because I haven't read the book or anything, but as a moviegoer, and I understand adaptations, you have to take out things or change things around or whatever. Um, when they confronted each other, to me, that scene ended too quick. There felt like there was way more with that scene, and I don't know if Netflix cut it. I don't know if Matthew cut it or whatever, but there was more. And that's my major problem with this movie, is that there are scenes in the movie where it is cut too quick. I don't know if it's the editing or whatever, but me watching a movie knowing that this is based off a book, even though again I didn't read the book, I just know that there are, like, you can, as if you watch movies as much as I have, shows or whatever, you'll know when a scene is just, wait, hold on, wait, this is just too quick. This happened way too quick, or it just abruptly ended, or it abruptly transitioned to another scene or whatever. That's the major problem for me throughout this movie, was like there were scenes where either there were scenes that weren't in there, because again, seeing the trailer and I'm waiting for those scenes and it didn't happen, or the scenes end too quick. But again, that goes back to my thing where I said I believe the movie should be longer. I think the movie definitely should be longer. That's just my personal opinion with that one. The movie definitely needs to be a little bit longer. But it also makes me wonder, like, would they come back to do like a mini series and thing? Because honestly, I think with the book, you can probably squeeze out at least like 3 seasons out of that show, but using the same actors again. So you have like a adaptation within a TV show of it. That way you can kind of do the more detailed things or whatever. But honestly, another thing too is Casey, I'm quite sure people are going to want you to probably do a sequel, and I'm quite sure Amazon probably going to try to goat you into doing a sequel, because the way it ended fine, but you can tell there's a lot of stuff left on the table with that. So I'm quite sure they're going to probably do a sequel to this. Maybe turn it into like at least a 3-film franchise, which is fine. I'm quite sure Casey wouldn't mind, but overall, I had a good time watching the movie. I had no problems with the movie, other than the stuff I mentioned. Uh, I'm not going to tell you how the stuff got solved, but eventually it'll get solved, because they'll end up together. We all know that'll happen. At least nobody died, right? At least no one died. But like I said, the two guys are very charming. Honestly, they made me believe in both Alex and Henry's relationship, friendship, all of that. Like, it was very charming to watch. It kind of reminds me of some of the friendships I've had or lost or whatever. Yeah, you know how you get. You be like, wow, it reminds me of my friendship or whatever, something like that. Not the lover thing, but the bantering that they have, some of the deep conversations that they have. You be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was really a good movie. I had fun watching it. I had no problem with anything. I can't really complain about it. I would suggest go watch it. You don't have to. This is just me just saying it. But it's a decent movie for a good chill night. I would say watch it. And maybe read the book. I probably might read the book. Um, I could go into detail about breaking down the movie, but I don't think you guys want me to do that because we'll be here for a long time. So we're just gonna end it right there, honestly. But like I said, it's on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, go watch it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Do you think anyone noticed?